What's up, everybody? It's Quinton from Hunters of Light. Today we've got a fantastic live stream companion. It's Ken. I saw his images quite a way back in, when he first joined in the group, and I thought, man, we've got to get this guy on. And I approached him, and he flat out refused, but like point blank. I think there were maybe two words, and one was no. The and then posted some more images, and some of the other guys said, listen, these are amazing images. I said, Ken, see, we need to have you on there. So Ken has graciously agreed to show us his images. I think they're fantastic. I mean, I just love the sort of artistry and swirliness, and it's for me it's absolutely fantastic. I just want to go out and buy an underwater housing. What with all the whale shots and all the other stuff, this underwater thing, it looks pretty cool. So yeah, thank you, Ken. I really appreciate it. Maybe what you can do to start us off is just what have you been doing? I mean, we've talked quickly now. You were talking about sorting out your company infrastructure, but how has lockdown affected you?
Oh, it doesn't really affected me. It's actually quite nice to be at home. But the funny thing is, you expect lockdown to calm down your work, and yet it's increased by double. Yeah, you seem to be working harder from home than you were at work.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and uh, although I'm still feeling sort of uneasy about this whole virus thing over there, because I'm in the age group which is vulnerable. I
Yes.
don't know if that's vulnerable for catching the thing or dying. I don't know. And on top of it, I got diabetes. Yeah, so
Sure.
there is no element that comes in. Yeah, so I'm just being careful at the moment and see how things pan out.
Yeah, fantastic. I think it's one of those things where none of us are really sure what's going on. You have stories on one side, stories on another side. But the one thing that I know for sure is that everyone that I've spoken to, their workload is increased exponentially. Because you can now have a Zoom meeting, you can have back-to-back 30-minute Zoom meetings for the whole day. And whereas before you might have to drive somewhere or be in a border, but now it's just drop, meeting. So yeah, I think some normality would be a good thing, I think.
Exactly. I even took out my camera with my 600mm lens. I thought I'll photograph birds in my garden. I have not taken one photograph, and I was in lockdown basically a week before the country went into lockdown. Yeah, so I have not taken a single photograph at all.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. You need to remedy that.
Ah, ah.
Yes. So if you want to kind of take us through your images, I as I said to you earlier, I'm so keen to see these images and hear the stories behind them. I imagine that it's not as simple as underwater housing or whatever and go. So I'm really keen to hear how you got these things.
Uh, oh shucks, where is my?
It's so down at the bottom, that the green button.
But now I got the share screen, but I can't find the right screen. I think.
There
Okay.
we go.
Well, I'll do is I'll just walk through sort of the aspects of doing it so that anybody that's really got a bit of an interest in it can see it's actually quite affordable. It usually puts people off because the housing is really expensive and the lighting and all that type of thing. And uh, I went to the computer show. It must have been about 7 years ago. I can't even remember which year it was. And I saw Ilse Moor's photographs, and as I was looking for another genre, everybody who's walking around with a digital camera was taking photographs, and I didn't want to compete or fall in the sort of the main line and that type of thing. I was looking for something else to do, and I thought, shit, yeah, this could be quite interesting. And I started off by just taking a silly housing and an old camera under the water and trying things out and seeing what really works without going and spending 80,000 rand on the housing. So I'm just going to go through and show you what I've done, or recommend if you are looking at doing something like this underwater. Yeah, it's actually pretty easy. Once you get into it, it's pretty easy. And I made a lot of mistakes, yeah, along the road, and I bugged up some cameras as well. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's something which dives into your heart. You really, when you see the results, see the models as well as myself, yeah, it really does something to them. So I'll just carry on. I'll be doing a little bit of an introduction and what camera housings there are. Obviously, I haven't tried them all out because, yeah, I'm trying to do it as cheaply as possible. And which camera and lens, mostly which I use, and nice do-it-yourself at home lighting for your pool. How to handle the weather when doing underwater photography, and what type of stuff to use as props and fabrics and that type of thing, is just to make the photos a little bit more interesting. And how to handle the model, yeah, which is it's quite a big thing, that. But anyway, and looking after the pool and what your pool must look like, and how to prep your pool for a photo shoot.
I think that's possibly the most difficult part out of all of this, is keeping your pool crystal clear and blue. I mean, I know I struggle with that.
Yeah, and not just blue. You know, you've got these particles which give you backscatter and leaves that go around, and even find little insects sort of swimming past you, past your lens. Yeah, it's weird, but it's all in the fun, eh? Yeah. Okay, I'll just start with it is a unique form of art. It's not maybe everybody's genre, and people veer away from it mostly because of the costing of it, and maybe they don't have access to a pool. You can do it in the sea as well. I'm just talking mostly pool because that's what I do. And you don't have to be a great diver or something. I don't use oxygen tanks. You can see that's all I use there. Is does my mouse show on the screen?
Yes, it's showing there, yeah.
Okay. I just use a simple pair of goggles. I've got a weight belt. Now, this weight belt that I know it's only got 2 weights on it. What I do, I fill that thing up. It's got weights that you can't put another weight on it. I try and get myself negative buoyancy of myself. So, yeah, when I go underwater, I like to just fold up my legs and the weights take me down to the bottom. I either sit or I go on my haunches, and I'm able to use my feet to push me from one side to the other side and align myself up with the model. So I don't know how many people do this here, but I really go down to the bottom. Sometimes I get in the deep end and I have to walk out underwater till I get to the shallow end so I can breathe again.
That's health and safety might have some problems with that.
It's quite crazy, actually. When I started off, people might be asking, why am I putting dumbbells on here? Yeah. When I didn't have a weight belt, I used to take a piece of rope and take those dumbbells and hang it over my neck so I can go negative.
Wow.
You try things, you know, and you don't want to go spend a fortune for something you don't know if you're actually going to be successful in it. But it all comes right. You've got to keep at it, and things just work in your favor the whole time. The more you try, the more successful you get. You know, and that's the camera I mostly use. I've got the 7D as well, which fits in the same housing. I've got, let's put it this way. I had 2 7Ds. I drowned the one in the sea, and it got frotted up and everything like that there. I had to throw it away and buy another. I bought another 7D, then I went to 5D. There's the Mark III that. And the lenses I use, there's no sort of hard cast which lenses to use. But I like the Tamron 15 to 30. It's f2.8. It's nice wide angle, and the only reason I use the wide angle, I'm closer to the model first of all, because it's what's about 1.5 meters away from the model itself, so I'm really close to the model. You'll see in some of my photographs, I get the whole pool with that lens. It's so wide. I shoot it on about 15 or 18 millimeters mostly. And the reason for getting in close to the model is that the less water you got between yourself and the model, the less backscatter and particles and all the murkiness and that type of thing comes through. So that's why I do it that way. There was something else I was going to say. You know, I run out of thoughts. My mind goes crazy sometimes. But anyway.
Yeah, your brain is full like mine, as we discussed earlier.
You get carried away and you forgot what you really wanted to say. But I'll move on a little bit. There are different housings in the market every year. Yeah, you got this Dickie Pack. That they caused me to lose that 7D. Every housing and everything has got its place. And I'd say, yeah, use it for short bursts of water and everything like that. Or like when I go to Africa Burn, I use it for dust proofing and or for wave photography. Probably that'll work as well. But I would not recommend it for lengthy times underwater. It springs leaks. Wow, that's just me. Maybe I didn't seal it properly every time. You know, it's a long process. You've got minimum sort of usage of it, and you've got this tube in front of you over here, which you've got to try and get it against the lens, because you get this effect of looking through a tunnel when you're taking photographs. Then, of course, you've got the high-end stuff, the Icalites and the Nauticams and CNC. And you're looking at, you know, starting off with about 80,000 Rand, you know, if you want to get yourself a proper housing. I'll come into the best part last of these things over here. Yeah, the different things work for different types of underwater photography, and most of these over here for the divers here, they go down to about 39 feet, and it's got to be pressurized and all that type of stuff. But in the pool, it's shallow. Yeah, I'll talk a bit more about the pool and how deep it is and where it is a little bit later on. But you don't need anything too fancy. A little bit of my experience and everything. Yeah, I've come from the film cameras. Yeah, where you take a photograph and a week later you only see your results.
Yeah, you only see your mistakes a week later.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, when I bought both my camera, my 70 and my 5D, I've never, I can put my oath on that there, I've never put it on anything else except manual. I've only shot in manual ever since, yeah, because that's what I know. and it's weird, and you learn how to get your settings right really quickly. You got to. I think it's a lot of discipline, really. Yeah, if you shoot, well, what's nice with the digital ones, you can see if you've done something wrong immediately. Yeah, you've got a feedback.
Absolutely.
I've got this little GoPro at the bottom of here, and that GoPro, actually, it is here, tiny little thing. I use this. Maybe I should go first to the brother housing, because then I can explain it better. This is what I use. This is brother housing. It's got no dials, got no buttons. It's got nothing. It's only got a trigger to take a photograph, and that's it. Yeah, once your camera's in that housing, and that's it. You can't do anything about it. It'll take you 10, 15 minutes to open up the housing, change the setting, and put it back in again. You know, and then you got the chances of some water getting in, and then it heats up a little bit over there. Then you get moist coming against the dome. Yeah, you get all types of other problems. And I can't give the model feedback, and I can't review my photographs using that thing. It's really a simplified. There's just something around your camera, and if you have got your settings wrong, you've got to start all over again. And I use that little GoPro at the bottom over here. You know, I'll speak a bit more about how I handle the models and everything, but it's really for handling the models underwater. I take it and I do a little movie of them going underwater. And I show them the movie when it's back, because this is nice and waterproof. There's no things about it or anything. You take it as it is over there. You take it underwater and you shoot.
Absolutely.
I only put it on movie mode. And I come up and I show the model in the water. This is what you look like. Yeah. Now let's fix this and let's fix that and that type of thing. But I'll get back to handling the model a little bit later on. A little bit of lighting, doing it cheaply again. As you saw on that brother housing, you've got no external things to trigger any other type of lighting whatsoever. So I use constant lighting. And you can see I go to China Mall and I buy myself some 4x4 spotlights. There's 12-volt stuff and some floodlights. There's a photograph of my pool with the setup over here.
Wow.
You can see there I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floodlights. I usually only use 5. I don't know why I put 6 on that day. And then just under that bracket over there, you'll see what my 4x4 lights. And here's another one. They're all on top of the pool.
Yes.
I don't. The 4x4. These ones over here. I don't always have them on top of the pool. I bought myself some fiberglass tubing, and put a cable through there, seal it, and seal both sides, and I take it under the water on a little stand or something, and I hook on a piece of brick or something onto it, just so it can stand in the right place.
Yeah.
And you see, I've got a picture of a frame up here. You can buy them. They're frightfully expensive, these aluminium frames. You can see the frame I've got over my pool over there. It's 20mm pipe, and I took some round bar, bent them into 90-degree stuff, and I welded them together. And I even put I don't know if you can see that there's a flange over there. So I can take it apart. I can take it apart, and I can put them on top of my little chimney, and I take them out. And when I do a shoot like in Clarence or something like that, I put my chimney, and there I go, and I dig it up on top of the pool there.
Fantastic. I keep telling my wife that I need a welder, because there's a lot of stuff that you can do if you've got your own welder. And I think that's a prime example. I mean, those lighting frames are, as you said, not cheap, but that's what you need if you want to span that space without it, dropping in the center.
Yeah. And okay, it's not on here, but there are little poles on the side of here, which is adjustable for height.
Okay.
I can take it higher and lower and everything like that. And before I get in the pool, what I do, I'll put some object under that water there. There's still a bit daylight over there, a little bit later than what the photograph's taken. So I don't want the sunlight affecting it, because I usually do it at night. I do some day shoots as well. I'll get into that as well. But I put an object underneath there, and I do my settings out the water, because the camera in my hand, and I look what is coming out like. And I don't have any fancy light meters or anything like that there. I just judge it, and then I put it in the housing, and I'm down there. This is just a power supply. You can use car battery, whatever you want to power up all these lights over here. What else is there? That's basic. I can't remember if I've got this in any other photograph over here, but you see this funny looking pole going across my pool over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that there I use for the models. It's support for them. They can usually stand over there. Sometimes it depends on their length. Some of them tiptoe on there, and some of them can stand quite easily at the depth over there. And I think I have good photographs of it. I'm coming back to that later.
I suppose the thing with that is that they're generally wearing, well, it depends on I know some of your shots they're not wearing very much, but on others there might be a lot of material, and once that gets wet, that's obviously quite heavy, and you do need a little bit of something to hold on to keep yourself above the water.
It's everything's weightless in the water. It's amazing. I don't, but I'll get to that there.
Okay.
I've got a little section on the materials and that type of thing. I'll get there. Okay. Yeah, some material and everything. Yeah. What works well is like this velvety type of colors and lacy stuff, and veil material is really nice. It's like netting type of thing. Yeah, they're like tutus and depends on. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Yeah, I don't do any so I don't really organize what the model's going to wear and everything like this. When they say what must they bring, I go bring your dress at your matric, went to your matric farewell, or a nice flowy dress or something like that. And sometimes they don't have that. I said, bring something funky, bring anything. And when you get over here, I've got boxes of fabric, and I take out these boxes of fabric and I see what they've brought, and I say, okay, let's do this. Let's change this here. Let's put this on here. This color will go nice with that there. Yeah, I'll talk about the models a little bit later. But in any case, that's a bit about the fabric. Just a little touch on the weather over here. I usually shoot at night, and that's usually the time as sort of night comes up and it gets nice and dark. If there's rain and that there, I don't care. The only time I really care is when there's thunder and lightning, then we don't get into the pool. I don't know, I've never seen lightning hit the pool, but I'm not going to take the chance.
Well, you've got that whole aerial above it with the mesh and the piping, that's just going to one big lightning conductor.
Yeah, just to say something up here on the weather bit, if it's a daytime shoot, it's a little bit different to normal photography. You usually wait for the golden hour, which is a good time and everything. Yeah, it is an hour sort of before midday and an hour after midday is like the best time. You want your sun coming from above. Yeah, it gives us nice like patterns in the water and that type of thing. I don't often do that there, and I don't like organizing a shoot because, as you saw, I can't change my settings that much. And if a cloud comes over, I'm really quite stuck.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose I didn't really think about that, but that's absolutely true. And just while I'm busy chatting here now, Gareth says, "Happy birthday to you. Trust you're having a special day." Wow, so it's a birthday, eh?
No. Remember, we made it first for the 5th, and we moved it to today. So
oh, that's true. That's true. Well, just take it as a happy birthday for for Friday. That would have been.
Oh, thanks, Gareth. Thanks, Stucker. Yeah. I was going to say something else about the daytime shoots. Yeah, basically, that's really all you want. Because if it is cloudy and you try and take it, your photographs usually come up pretty flat, and it's really, really difficult to try and get them to pop a bit. I have a couple of them for examples over here. Okay, and for the models, they always go spend a lot of money on waterproof makeup and everything. You don't need to do that. It's maybe nice to have and everything, but when they get over here, just before they get in the pool, I take hairspray, I spray their whole face and everything, they close their eyes and spray their face, 2 layers of hairspray, and that seals it quite well. As long as they don't come up and wipe their faces, which is a natural instinct to do, so I have to say, whoa, don't wipe. Yeah, and from a model point of view, there's only 3 things I really require from them. When a person's natural thing to do when they go underwater is to, they've got this puffy cheeks when they hold their breath. they have to try and relax their face and even maybe part their lips slightly. You can hold your breath at the back of your throat. You don't have to do that type of thing. And I get them to do that a couple of times before they even get in the water, just before we get in. I tell them they're not allowed to swim. That's what that pole was there for. You see, that pole they can hang on to first of all, but that's not the whole purpose of that. That's not the main purpose of the pole. You can use. You don't have to use a pole. You can use a plank. You can use a step ladder spread across the pool. You know, as long as what they do is they hold onto that pole and they give themselves a nice shove to go underwater. It will stop them from swimming because when they swim, you get the symmetrical thing, the chick, chick, chick. You take photographs of it. And it's not nice and easy flowing. So they've got to break their form completely. Taking off swimming is really boring. You know, they go over there, and of course, nice hands and feet, because if they go down and they seem to want to swim and they want to try and control themselves. They've got to push themselves under, do that there, and have nice hands, ballet type of hands, and pointed feet, and that makes the whole photograph funny enough. I don't like them to go down to the bottom of the pool and push themselves up. The buoyancy, I let them go down a couple of times without trying to regulate the buoyancy. I don't like using weights to weigh them down or anything like that. I rely on that pole to push them down. And if they are buoyant, they come up. There's often, if they can just relax a little bit, and if they are coming up, the surface of the water acts as a mirror. And there's sometimes really nice photographs you're getting of their reflection that they can actually interact with themselves on the surface of the water. They don't see themselves, of course, but they have to pretend that it's a mirror, and that is what's happening. And the most important things with which always it ends up to be like a real having fun. It becomes a party later on. Once they relaxed, the tendency is most of the girls come over here. It's the first time they're doing an underwater shoot. It looks really scary and deep and everything. They look at my photographs. And they don't realize they can actually stand over there, and it's really pretty simple. It really looks like terrifying, and not all models are comfortable underwater. They don't have to hold their breath really long. 3 seconds is enough. I've had some girls over here which really can't swim. I don't know why they can't. But I worked with them. You'll see it's one of my first 2 or 3 photographs I'll be showing just now. This is one of the girls who can't swim, really can't swim. I went to the deep side and she went on the shallow side, so she can just do something.
Sure.
But you make everything work. It's just a little bit more about myself over here. This is just my hobby. I have a full-time work. I earn enough salary and everything, and I think a lot of photographers maybe hate me for that because I don't charge, but I also don't pay. So if a person is really keen to do a shoot, I never say no. I do, obviously, if it's winter time now and everything. I've done, make an appointment in the summertime. Okay, I think enough said on that subject. Okay, there it is. There I can see the pole a little bit better. And you can see I've taken a bit of shower curtain over here around the one spotlight. It was making bright spots and that type of thing. So I put shower curtain just to soften the light as it goes in there. Then you can see the flange properly over there going around. Just a little bit about the pool as well. I'm glad I put the clean pool afterwards. A lot of these girls come with hair clips or little studs or whatever, and little silver things on their clothing which fall off. And if you don't clean the pool off right after the shoot, like I said, a week later you come and you see these horrible rust marks at the bottom of the pool.
Yes.
And I still haven't found out how to get rid of them. One of my spanners, which I use for these nuts every year, was on the side of the pool, but either their boyfriend or I don't know how it got in there, but could have bumped it while they were walking in the dark, and then fell in my pool, and I never saw it. And the next shoot I got, I saw there's a pattern of a spanner. Right?
Oh no!
But anyway, yeah, you got to look after your pool. What I also do is, just before the summertime, I take some flocculant, I throw it in the pool, get all the metallic particles that fall at the bottom, drain it up, backwash. Yeah, that is. And you've got to keep your pool about 7.4 pH. The reason for that, your eyes are 7.4. So I don't like them burning their eyes. Back on the model subject that we're talking about, eyes. I don't mind if they close their eyes, but now and then I like them to open their eyes. Yes, so we don't have every photograph with closed eyes, But some of them, it's a dreamy effect. It's really nice. You must be underwater with me to see it. Yeah, it's so lovely just to see it, and I think that's what my passion is all about. I enjoy it so much. There's my backyard. I'm actually looking at my backyard over my screen, just like that. I'm busy. I've actually dug up a couple of holes over here. I've got bubbles coming out my pool, and I'm trying to find where the leaks are. Those lights I've taken off at the moment. I've packed them away. It's winter time. The water's too cold. I usually shoot when it gets about 28 degrees, the pool, and it gets there quite early, and it goes right up to 34 degrees. And that's even, I had a solar on, but since I got these bubbles, I've cut it off, and I have not seen much change in the temperature. But I think that blanket, which is lying over there, I'll just drag it off over here. It really contributes to keeping the pool nice and warm and stops the leaves from falling through in that there. So just before the shoot, I take it off, clean it up a bit, and look after your pool. You gotta be at it all the time. How's the slide up here? I just made it in case I get stuck.
Oh man.
Okay, I'll take you through some examples of my work. There's some Samantha. You can see it's mostly netting type of material. You see, you got to try and get the color scheme and everything. This dress over here, which I often do. I go to these car boot sales and I see what they're selling over there. Now, that dress I bought for 50 Rand. Yeah, the car boot sales. I collect these things when I go around as well. Only if it's a bargain, and it's usually lying somewhere in one of my boxes, and everybody dives into these boxes and they look what they want to use as well. It's a fun part of preparing. I'll let them get here about an hour before the shoot, before it gets dark. It depends on when it gets dark.
Yeah.
And they arrive over here, we do a little bit of discussion, we have a bit of chit chat and get their makeup and that right. I don't usually have a makeup artist or anything. They do their own makeup. Now and then I have a sort of adopted son in Cape Town, and when he comes down, I organize a model quickly because he's a makeup artist, and they will do something together. Yeah, but usually I'm also alone. I've never had anybody assisting me in a shoot in the water anyway. I wouldn't mind having somebody. There have been a couple of volunteers and said, please, I'd like to learn. And I said, okay, I'm doing a shoot on that day there, but they don't pitch, and it's a bit frustrating for me. I'm thinking, okay, he can do this up here, and I prepare sort of having some assistant, and they don't pitch, and that frustrates me. I don't like unreliability. That's just one of my traits. I like getting things done now and quick as possible and sort of to the point. Although I reckon I'm a more fun person as well. My age is stopping me from having all that fun. Okay, this is Samantha. It's one of my favorites. She's been here a couple of times. And she's absolutely, it's such a pleasure to work with. And just some photographs. I don't know if I talk about them or anything. It's like flimsy material, which is nice. It's flowy. This is the girl I was talking about, which couldn't go more than 2 seconds underwater. And this on the shallow side, but the depth where she is about a meter deep.
I love this shot. I think it's just the color is fantastic. Those sort of I don't know, they're not called reflections, but the light on the bottom of the pool matches the dress and the reflection. This is fantastic. I absolutely love it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you know, every model, it doesn't matter how they perform and everything, bring something along. I don't know what it is. You know, the character shows and how they handle water, because the water, they don't handle the water handles them.
Yeah.
You got no control of what the water's going to do. Sometimes the bottles get tangled in clothing and it's all over them, and it goes crazy sometimes. What's a nice thing about constant light, when you see the shot coming, you can go, yeah, you shoot them like this, and you can got the nice choice of the exact position they are in.
Absolutely. No, this is really one of my favorites. Oh, here's another one.
Well, this one over here is your cover page at the moment, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Past to see, it's also I'm pointing at my finger. I can't believe it. You know, I think that you can see it. This here is all veil material, and then I've got some other like yellowish, goldish type of stuff at the back. This lady actually came just to do nude shoots, so I do ask to get covered up a little bit, so I can also use some photographs. You know, it's all done on a TFCD basis. And this is the same lady you just saw now. This is all from one shoot. It's a composite. I don't do composites. That's one thing I stink at. I wish I could do Photoshop properly. Mostly, I only shoot in RAW. And then I open up in Camera Raw. There's a couple little tweaks I do on the Camera Raw. And then I take it to Photoshop and just clean up a bit of all the funnies all around, like my weir's usually at the back, in the background. I take out my weir. Yeah, I'm not a great editor or anything like that. It's usually more or less what you see is what you get.
Ken, just a question. Well, there's a couple of questions. That one that initially in the shallow end, that light, that was it wasn't the sun, hey? That was shot with that's obviously one of the lights that's coming through, hey?
That's all my LED lights, yeah.
Okay.
At the moment, I'll show you a shot or two I've got. I think a shot or two I did in the daytime. It's not my favorite. I love doing it at night because I can adjust the lighting. I can just move those lights around like this and get the right shadowing, and play around with it. And if I don't like the light on top, I take the one at the bottom and I try and get it from the side.
Yeah.
You know, depending on how they're dressed and what type of fabric is going in over there. You can use all types of props. You know, you can get pieces of steel and everything like that. Yeah, there's people like Brett Stanley. They build whole bedrooms sort of under the water, which apparently is not edited or anything. It is his props and everything make it look like it's in a real bedroom. Which, yeah, it's one of the guys I look up to in the underwater photography game. They had a little bit of editing, not much. I just made this our writers. I do a lot of programming. Although I can't use Photoshop, I write this little piece of software in Photoshop which creates this type of thing. I just take a little piece of this blade over here and I tell it to repeat, rotate this way, and it just does it all. In any case, also having fun.
Yeah, that's another lovely one. Lovely.
I don't know if I should add. There's nothing really to add.
Ken, where are you based?
In Linden, Johannesburg.
Okay, there we go, Fabian. Linden.
Near Cresta, somewhere, yeah, Northcliffe, Cresta, Linden, Randburg, sort of. But I'm in London, yeah. Yeah. Now, if any of the guys is listening up over there or anything, wants to come and learn from me, they are welcome. I don't charge. I just have fun. They're welcome, but they have to contact me close to the summer, obviously, when the water's a little bit warmer. And I don't know how this COVID-19 is going to affect what I do. We'll see when the time comes.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure that people are going to be taking your details and putting that in their calendar for a couple months' time. Because this, it's just so beautiful. Absolutely love it.
Well, they must be prepared to get wet and have fun, eh?
I don't think that'll be a problem.
Yeah. This photograph just reminds me a bit of a story. This girl got to my place. She made an appointment with me. She instead of cancelling, she pitched up over here. She says, Ken, I've pitched up over here, but I'm not going to shoot. I said, well, why not? She says, she's having a bit of personal problems with it, and she's really down, and she's just not into it for tonight. Well, I said, that sounds very terrible, and I'm sorry to hear about your situation. But you know what? This is going to be the best thing for you to do, is to go underwater with me. And she sort of ummed and ahed, and she said, okay. Yeah, much like me trying to get him to, when you asked me, it's like, okay. And she stayed underwater. I can't believe how long. You know, I've got a long breath. I really stayed underwater long just by holding my breath. And she stayed underwater, and she stayed underwater, and she did this, and she did that, and she was just like amazing. In any case, you know, after the shoot, we get out the pool. I take my housing out, and I've got 2 showers at my house. I say, you go jump in that shower. I want to go have a shower as well. Get nice and warm and get a blanket around us, and then we look at the photographs. And after the shower, I came downstairs over here, and yeah, she was already finished showering and dressed and everything. And she ran up to me and she put her arms around me. She says, that's the best therapy I've ever had.
That's fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love it.
So that's just one of the stories. It's therapy for everybody. You know, it's really good. It's so nice, the feedback you get from the models, and the interactive and the keenness, and it's just the whole story, you know, doing the shoots.
Melanie says she can't wait to get back in the water with you.
Melanie, yeah, Mel, how's it going? Yeah, she came as a mermaid, and we did something else. Yeah.
Very cool.
There's just some of the stuff. I don't usually ask for nudes or anything like that, but I shoot what I get, you know, and I don't mind. The models ask me if I don't mind doing nudes. I tell them to carry on. We do exactly as she feels, and this is just one of them. And now you can see the lighting over here. It's exactly the same lighting as what you saw on my poles and everything over there.
Yeah.
Except I went to the deep end over there where I can't stand with all those weights and everything. You know, and I shoot against the lights. So just by the positioning, just by repositioning yourself in the pool, you get a complete different type of feel to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's one of those things where I sometimes see if photographers will shoot something the way they've lit it, but they don't think about changing an angle. And just here, by you swapping what looks like 180 degrees to the other side, it's a completely different image. And for me, this is more interesting because it's got that bit of room lighting. There's a bit of sort of darkness and light, and I love it. It's so cool. Really nice.
You see that this lighting coming from over here, that is from one of my 4x4 under, which I put underwater. That is coming from there.
Yeah.
And these are here are my LED lights which you use for the garden. You know, it's simple.
Absolutely. Chris wants to know, as far as color balancing, is it an issue with the water, the pool wall colors and lights? Are the lights daylight balanced?
Excellent question. That. When you get to deep water photography, the colors do change. You know, the different depths, like the red is first to go and that type of thing. And then they have to put filters on to be able to bring up the different colors. The pool is shallow enough. You don't need that there. You know, if you do lose some color, it's very easy in Photoshop just to bring back that little bit of color you've lost. So no, I don't do much color balancing or anything like that. It's not deep enough, and my lights get flat out onto it, and I don't. If you go deep, yes, it is definitely a factor. But in the pool, yeah, 1.5 meters deep, nah.
Okay, thanks.
I hope that answers the question. Thank you. Sonel.
So the one thing that that I suppose comes in when you start to you know, shoot underwater is chromatic aberration and that sort of thing. And I think that a lot of that also depends on the housing, the lens that you've got, and the clarity of the water. I see up at the top on the right there, there's a little bit of a glow. Is that because there's a gel that's been added onto your lights, or is that just the sort of the water and interacting with the light and the lens and everything like that?
Well, it's not so much the lens or the housing and everything. That is the white reflects off. I don't really like shooting with white because of that fact of it actually glows.
Yeah.
And to get rid of that glow is a bit of a pain. I think some of the better Photoshop skills than myself will be able to get rid of that. but yeah, it does glow. If you've got your settings not wrong, you know, you're going to battle. You get and try and bring out the detail of the white and keep it there. I'm not that good at Photoshopping.
I suppose that's also the thing, you know, because your lights are so close to the surface, if the model is, you know, let's say, you know, I don't know, 10, 20 centimeters under the water, versus 3 foot or 4 foot under the water, it's going to make quite a big change in the amount of light that's hitting them, and especially if you've got, you know, you want the skin of her face to be well exposed, but then you've got a white layer that's, you know, a good 2 foot higher than that. That must be something that's quite tricky to deal with.
Yeah, no, that is, yeah, when they bring white over here, like a white wedding dress, but a bright white, you know, but it's a little bit off color, it's fine. But when it's this bright white, silky, satiny, I'm looking for the term. And I think that's got like a bit of like satin on it, and it's obviously right. The top part of this fabric over here is right near my lights, and it really glows. And I must probably try to tone it down and unsuccessfully, but anyway, that's what happens.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to start a Photoshop course, huh? What do you think? We'll put you on it, and anyone else who wants to join, we'll do we'll take one of these images and we'll sort out the edges around there. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know if you know Martin Dudley. You must actually get him on the show. He's the boffin.
I mean, I've just seen that Anki Kutzer says she actually likes the glow, and the reason why I asked whether it was if you put some gels on the lights, because on the bottom left, you know, there's a bit of color there as well. So, you know, that was just me wondering if you'd actually added something else to it. But you know, I think it also depends on the material. You know, if you've got material that's really nice and flowy and all of that just makes the whole image, you know, it just turns it into a fantastic image.
I've tried shooting with gels. Yeah, I've experimented with quite a lot of different things and everything. Okay, and as soon as I use color gels, it takes over the whole photograph, and I don't know how to handle it. You know, maybe the Photoshop experts will handle that, but it really came out ugly to me. And you'll also notice a lot of underwater photographers that they use backdrops, either a white cloth or some type of cloth in the back there. I've never used a backdrop behind any of these photographs ever. It's the way my lighting falls, and that's what I take. So I'm not one for much of the backdrops and everything, and trying to get it and stay in place and pin it down in the water. I'd rather use my lighting and move it around a bit and see what I can get out of that.
Absolutely. I think it just makes it more interesting with the lighting.
You can see you use anything. What she's wearing over here is actually a dustbin bag, which I've just cut some holes into it. Umbrella from China Mall. Yeah, it's one of these plastic umbrellas. Yeah, you play around with anything. It seems like just about anything goes when it comes to underwater photography. Even if the colors don't match properly, it always brings something to the party. It's just weird. And this has been on your page before, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
My favorites, that's why I put it on there. Yeah, there's a nice little story behind this girl here as well. I was looking at how we're doing for time there. She came over here and she was really battling to get going underwater. She was swimming and she was getting symmetrical and I don't know what all. And eventually I said, listen, did you not ever do ballet as a little girl or something like that? She says, yes. I said, no, be that little girl, do ballet. And this the photograph I got out of it. Yeah. And you can see it over there as well. And it's not the perfect reflection, but there's bubbles coming up. It breaks the water. It's not a photoshopped reflection. It's genuine reflection. There's a lot of stories behind a lot of these models. This guy's just amazing. As nerdy as that I am, and prim and proper, whatever you want to call it, this guy's an artist, and his hair's short on the one side and long on the other side. And this weekend that my adopted son came from Cape Town, and I said, come do this guy. Yeah. And he said he wanted to wear the dress. Well, he's got a dress on. And he did the makeup of this character. I don't know if it's Michael. And we were chatting over here. That was last year. It must have been just before April. I said, I'm going to Africa Burn. He says, well, he also wants to go. So I took him along to Africa Burn. Now, me and this guy don't look like we fit together whatsoever. And everybody sort of asked, how do you fit in? I said, I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
Any case, it's a nice little story behind this guy. Oh, there's Mel. Mel said hi just now. We must do some more together. I often get requests from a group of dancers, and they all wanted to do a photograph together underwater. It's one of the most difficult things because one is heads out from under the water, the other one is looking there, the hands are in the way. It really gets complex. And just to show you that it can be done, but it's not easy. You don't get the best picture and everything, but it's got its merits here, I think.
That's where you need to get your Photoshop skills sorted, because then you take 10 or 15 images and you move the right things into the right place, swap some heads, etc.
Yeah. But these girls are actually lovely. I do a lot of studio. I've got my own studio at home as well. I do a lot of studio shots with them, and I go to where they do dancing and we take some photographs there. So that's one of the same dances you just saw now on our own.
Is that in the pool?
That's in the pool.
Wow, that is super clear.
Yeah, no, you knock it. You've got to get your focusing right, and yes, yeah, no, it is nice. I think.
Oh, nice.
That's also one of the dancers. Different one.
Yeah.
There you can see, this is taken also from the deep end against a bit of a lighting. That there's my pool light, which is built into the wall over there, and it sort of brought some type of effect to it as well. I don't always switch it on, and this time I had it on. You change things as you go. There's Marika. And that one there, I think you've seen as well.
That's lovely. I just, you know, it's on all the levels. I mean, the color is perfect. The color of the, you know, the hair and the fabric against the sort of greeny gray of the water. Oh man, love it. So cool.
She calls me Merman. And we do quite a few shoots. She's older, and every season she comes for a shoot at least
Nice.
one shoot. And brings a whole lot of friends as well, and we all jump in the pool.
Sounds a little bit like Hugh Hefner, eh? All these half-naked girls in the pool. Eh? It's like a pool party.
It is like a pool party, although I don't like other models in the pool at the time I'm shooting.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I do go to the deep end and shoot this way. They're sitting on the step, and yeah, I don't want them in the way. I don't like trying to edit them out. And
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's Kimmy.
I really like the themed ones. So this one is, I mean, I don't know what, you know, if there was some sort of an idea behind it, but you know, where it looks themed, something like a Mad Hatter's Tea Party or something like that. It's just really cool.
No, the people bring something over here, and then if I think they look like a Mad Hatter, I'll go get a top hat out of my studio, which I've got a lot of props lying around here. I did a couple of weddings in that day, but I don't like doing weddings, so I've decided not to do weddings anymore. Yeah. I look what they're wearing, and then we try and match something with it, like the gold and the yellow. Yeah, there's actually more a yellowy type of thing, although it comes out gold in the water. And then these long socks, which is also mine, it's lying in my trunk over there. We put them on and go for it.
Love it.
And this girl over here, her mother's got a bit of a shop, a clothing shop, and she wanted to come and model her mother's clothing. This is some of her mother's clothing over here. Yeah, that's worked out quite well. I do a lot of what do you call them? These aerial artists, yeah.
Yeah.
On silks and hoops and that type of thing. This is one of the girls. I went to Mozambique with them, and we photographed we put a whole tripod up on the beach, but this is not on the beach. This is actually my pool at home. I've got another photograph of that's her as well.
Okay.
She's just playing around over there. That is, I don't know if you know anything about Hasselblad, but that is the slide projector for
I was just going to say, that looks like a slide projector, that one.
Yeah. It's like old stuff, man. You know, it was like, is it going to work again? Nah, take it underwater. And try to do something, and I try to make it look like it's blowing your hair up here.
Nice.
Having a bit of fun. Do a lot of belly dances. This is one of my belly dances. Okay, for underwater shoot as well. I do the international belly dancing competitions. I do a lot of that photography where it takes 3 days and thousands and thousands of photographs. But in any case, she came to me and we did a little shoot in the pool. That's also her. There's a. I know it's not the best photograph or anything, but it was quite a process. This is real, right? There's nothing weird about it. This girl's got Friedreich's ataxia, where it's a degeneration of the muscles of that. I'm not the a doctor or anything, so I can't even expand on that. But I told her, I must come for a shoot. And she said, okay. Now she wants to. She got all excited and everything. But you let me know in 3 weeks, she said. So in any case, so a week get by and I remind us it's 2 weeks left. 1 week, I tell her it's 1 week left for her to tell me. And so that as the time got closer, she said, no, not coming for a shoot. I said, well, come and visit me anyway. You know, and this guy over here saw this coming. He's a model. It's a professional model. Saw this coming, and he came the day before the planned shoot, which was not going to happen as far as I knew it. And I photographed him underwater, and I trained him a bit how to behave and that type of thing, because I wanted him to assist her in any way if this shoot does happen. Obviously, it did happen, but it took a bit of convincing and everything. She tired out very quickly, so she only went down 2 or 3 times, and then she asked to get out. I actually picked her up and carried her into the water, and yeah, that's my wheelchair. Well, I've got a son, a profoundly handicapped son. He's 33 years old. He has never walked or talked or crawled in his life, and that's one of his wheelchairs which I threw into the water. I didn't want to damage hers. And this how it worked out. But in any case, it's just, they even had a magazine over here doing an article on it. And it's quite a day to be done. Her abilities are beyond her abilities, let's put it that way. And she was so brave and such a lovely woman. Jade.
It's a beautiful story.
Jade is spelled with the Y. She's on Facebook if anybody wants to look her up and everything. She's done a bit of modeling, and a lot of them are in the wheelchair. And she's absolutely stunning lady. No, I'm going the wrong way. That there was done in Clarence. I'm going to stay on this one here. That's also done in Clarence when I put the whole stuff on there. That pool was freezing. I don't know if Clarence pools are always that cold, but it was freezing. It was really, 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 really cold. I had a wetsuit on her, but these ladies just got in. They did it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of different stuff. The marks, anything works. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Put a bicycle. Oh, I mean, there's endless possibilities to props and everything. Just take a quickly through.
Oh, that's lovely.
A nice story. She's actually a pilot, and she was training the Afghans in Afghanistan to fly.
Wow.
And she came to my house and we did this shoot. That's the one I told to be a ballerina.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bit of a daytime shoot.
Yeah, it's very different. Hey, the feel is very, very different.
Oh, it's completely different. I like the nighttime shoots.
It's more dramatic.
Oh.
Yeah, it's also a favorite of mine, that one.
Yeah, I think that's the last one. No. That's it.
Ah, very cool. Absolutely love it. I'm really glad that I managed to get you to to join us, because I think it would have been sacrilege if if we weren't able to get you to show your images. We've had lots of different types of photographers and genres and that sort of thing, but this one was just really nice and different, and I really appreciate you taking the time and getting over your initial nerves, which I know you were really worried about it, but I really appreciate it. Such beautiful images, I'm speechless. I mean, I want to get in our pool and start shooting stuff. The two problems are housing and that pool needs to be cleaned. but just a question about the housings. Where is it now? Fabian was saying, are you using the dome or the flat port on your housing?
I use the dome. I've never used the flat port. I've used it on the old Dicker pack. You know,
Yeah.
you can see it's got a flat port over there, but these things I would not recommend anyway. The dome is nicer, especially with the wide angle lens, and you don't get the vignetting type of effect of the camera. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's see. Colleen says, love your photography. Got lots of fans here. I think we definitely need to organize, get a whole lot of people over there. The guys can check it out and maybe some of them can be models, some of them can be, helping you out, etc. I think that it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but they're prepared to get a camera in their hands as well and go underwater,
Absolutely.
Not selfish about it. They can take their own photos. Okay.
There we go. Perfect. Now, Ken, I really appreciate your time. It was really special to have you on. And I hope that it goes from strength to strength and you just keep taking beautiful images. Really, really awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you to everybody who's watching over here. And Quentin, thank you very much for your time. And you put me really at ease. I was really worried about how I'm going to be okay or not, but it worked out well, I think. Thank
Absolutely. You. No, it's an absolute pleasure. If you want to go onto the Facebook page and just you can answer some questions that might come up, etc. But other than that, just thank you and have a fantastic afternoon.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Quentin. Have a good day to you.
All right, Ken. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.